Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and everything in between, above, below, and through dimensions. My name is BlazyBard, and we are back with more content from Esports Wales in the women's side of the IESF. We are just off the heels of an unfortunate 3-13 loss against Latvia earlier on, and now we are set to go up against Romania, now who have a similar record. Sorry, it's not Romania, it's Serbia, my mistake. All of our players are in the lobby, just waiting to get into that initial knife round. I gotta say, the first thing I'm noticing about these players, one of them has a Dragon Law. That's a big deal. Who isn't? It is Serbia. So we'll have to see if the skin vantage will take any sort of precedence. We'll go ahead and have a look at some of these warm-ups as we break down the start of our match. And of course, as soon as I say that, we are heading into the knife round, folks. Starting off right now, the top of your screen on the left-hand side, you will see Serbia. On the right, you will see Wales. Whoever wins the knife round will have the option to stick or switch. We are on Inferno, a notoriously high-level CT-sided map, so these two teams certainly looking to see who can get that all-important early game advantage. See if we can watch this from the sky as Serbia. Everyone's just looking at each other, waiting to make the first move, but it's going to be Bethan who takes the first chunk of damage, and, well, like dominoes, they fall. Serbia are going to take the knife round, and they do, in fact, choose to stay. Serbia. Starting off on the counter-terrorist side. Inferno, folks, there's a lot to say about this map. A classic, a staple, in my opinion, the best map in Counter-Strike. Historically, Inferno is a place where counter-terrorists have to start as far forward as they feel comfortable with, and there are all these different angles for them to fall back to. Starting off in mid, we could potentially see some CT holds here in mid, falling back to later on angles here. We'll have to see what they decide, because at the moment, it is just the T's charging up through mid. Getting onto site. No one has checked for Maliko, though. Hanging out in apartments. Gonna take one. It's gonna be Kenzie finding return, but Maliko still unchecked here in Apps. Is able to take another kill. Trying to take some pot shots, finally. Takes a little bit of damage back in return, but Kag finds one. Shim Isla is gonna find a third, and Mine closes it out. Shim Isla does have this Dragon Law bayonet, which is lovely. Lovely to look at. First round does, in fact, go in favor of Serbia. I might have to see how this affects the mental. We were talking a little bit behind the scenes. What I consider what I may have considered a disappointing finish for Esports Wales in the last set actually did not affect the mental at all. The women's team was super proud of their performance, it being the first game in Esports Wales women's history that they were able to claim 3 rounds in a match. So we'll have to see how they feel off the back of that, as already Bethan quite able to pick up that kill, but the charge is set fire. Everybody walks through it, but everyone's looking the wrong way. Maliko picks up 2. But Nadia is able to churn it out. Pick up a kill for themselves. Damage is still good here. Nadara takes a little bit of damage off of Kuka. Charging up the short angle. Not going to pay off for them, but the trade comes through, and Schmizler is able to find one in return. Now 2v3 situation, but again, that bomb acts as an extra person. Beautiful teamwork and coordination from Team Serbia to wipe up the last 2 Wales players. And defuse the bomb. Starting strong here with a 2-round win. With the force by last round, T-side isn't going to really be able to afford too much going into this. 1 AK was thought about, but Instead, the team's going to decide pistols is the way to go for now. Save up this round. Make sure that we can buy bigger guns next time around. Meanwhile, they are staring down the barrel of 3 rifles. Looks like it's going to be a banana push for the T's here. Smoke comes through. It's a massacre. 3 people taken down before Mine is finally stopped. Iroh not quite able to do as much as they were hoping. Situation. Smoke off the mark, but it's not going to stop Kenzie getting the kill down long. These 2 players now. Bomb not available to them. Still in upper banana. Kag is going to find Kenzie here. Just Nadara left. SMG and a dream. It's going to come all down to this pick. Bomb is firmly in the favor of Serbia right now. No reason for them to take an aggressive stance. But with 50 seconds on the clock. Questions and answers. 5 bullets left in the chamber. Nadara has to back off to reload, but not quite able to stack up. Does get the drop on Kagalina. Not quite able to translate it into a win this time around, though. Close. And with the Econ a little bit better off this time. Wales finally able to field their first full rifle round, but Kuka has the operator. AWP. Just an AWP. In Counter-Strike. Been Valorant pilled. As the CTs call their first time out of the match. We talk about Counter-Strike as a game of momentum. It's a game of mind games, mind play. This pause here, while often we do see pauses benefit normally the team on the losing side. Hoping to try and reset momentum. This time around it could work in the opposite light. Wales have been able to get quite a lot of kills in these rounds. They've certainly been close. This pause might be enough just to get them to pump the gas a little bit, pump the brakes a little bit. Got a Kuka first, peeking aggressively in mid. Iroh not quite able to react in time, and now on the back foot yet again. Wales getting aggressed on. Melody here does have an aggressive angle. Decides to back up. All quiet on the western front, but Maliko's about to take... Oh, such unfortunate timing for Maliko. Just barely doesn't get the drop on the players pushing through apps, and now Kuka. She's got an angle. The rest of the counter-terrorists are here. Drop it for 3 for Kuka. The AWPer picks up a 3rd. And with the cross-play support from Mini. It's a massacre in the boiler room. Wales, they might have been able to pick up some gas, but they certainly weren't able to start cooking. Jumping into round number 5 now. Wales still have a full buy, though utility is lacking. Iroh looking to potentially get a little bit aggressive here towards the banana side. Just holding for some aggressive pushes. The rest of the team, though, is heading down mid. They want to play through apartments again. They felt that last time they maybe left a little bit too much on the table. Serbia have to start sweating, but the rotations come through. They've moved a 3rd man over towards A site. Pushing through apartments. This is about to get bloody. Maliko's right here. 2 other CTs. The flash comes through, but it's going to go wide. Maliko still has their eyes and finds 4 pushing out of apartments. Even the commentators are taken by surprise. I'm coughing to death at the sheer audacity. Maliko holds the tight angle. No one was expecting it. And what was a lovely setup for Esports Wales goes awry. Economy now yet again in shambles for the women of Esports Wales. Back to pistols this time around, just trying to get as much as they can, but Kuka yet again with this AWP, taking names, peeking aggressively, even despite everything. 3 taken off by the AWPer. And now it's just Iro and Bethan remaining. Round 6, we knew it was going to be economy, but this is unfortunate. They have to be able to find something. Kuka comes around the corner, could potentially translate this into an ace, but Bethan is able to find one. Taking out the AWPer, certainly a feat, but unfortunately the rest of the team around to help secure the weapon. Esports Wales, though, have the economy this time around. Bethan, in fact, choosing to spring for the AWP. This is their preferred weapon of choice. Maybe. Could see how it stacks up. They're taking the aggressive angle. Not quite on the mark, but gets just glanced. Bethan's gonna live to fight another day. Nadia takes a spill up on Banana. And it is all Iro. Bethan as well, losing the fight in mid. Unfortunate. The numbers on Esports Wales yet again dwindled. Just 2 players left standing. It's Kenzie and Melody. What can they do? 1 minute left on the clock, 5 to find. The bomber's with them, though they were just making a lot of steps. Serbia likely has some knowledge of what's going on here. Maliko always seems to Malik. No. What's going on, but looks away at the wrong time. But Esports Wales can't capitalize. And Maliko walks away with not only a kill, but the bait for their teammate. Setting up for Cagnolia. Cagalina, sorry. And now, Esports Wales take their first pause. A moment to stop, breathe, try and figure out what their plan is going forward. Momentum in a game like this is so important. And even sometimes taking these small breaks helps them get to where they need to be. We'll see if it has much effect. 4 rifles still on the board for Esports Wales. We'll see if they can make them work. 1 Mac 10 as well as Kuka. Quite able to find an angle this time around. Gonna be Serbia in an absolute massacre. Minange, Simsla eat up the T forces. Just not enough there. Not enough. This is the point in the cast, folks, where I normally ask my co-chair, what do you think could be different? What could be happening here for Esports Wales? How can they start to dislodge these CT players from these positions and let them have a way in? And they would tell me something along the lines of, well, more utility needs to be expended. Molotovs need to be coming down this banana angle to see it. Cagolina cannot be allowed to just walk down and start putting players under the hammer. But time and time again, the strats just aren't seeming to work out for Wales. Serbia, so strong right now. All of their players nearly set at the money cap. Nadia and the rest of the team charging up second mid this time around. Are going to face 3 people, including Kuka. Once again, finds that kill in the crossfire. Finds 2. Smoke doing nothing to dissuade Kagalina's kill count from soaring higher. Bethan, last man standing. Has the AWP. Here's steps behind them. Has to contend with multiple players from multiple different angles, and it's just too much for the alone player to deal with. 10-0. 3 rounds from the finish line. And the T side taking another breather. Figuring out what their next plan is essential here. This entire series, Wales have been on the back foot, unable to purchase the same amount of utility as their contemporaries, but this time around, potentially looking to balance that out. Some grenades, some smokes picked up across the board. Molotovs, super important. We'll have to see how well these are used. As it looks like with the utility in mind, the MAC-10 for Bethan. This could potentially be another crack at Banana. And here they come. Yet again, Kuka gets into an aggressive position. Wales not giving them the angle just yet. They do blind him. That's going to allow for a little bit of space to be gained. This is exactly what we need to see from Esports Wales. Kuka forced out of position. And now slightly on the back foot. Maliko here with the rest of the squad, though. And Kuka re-peeks in mid, trying to find out what's going on. Nadia takes the first death here against Maliko. And Kuka finds 2 with a penetrating shot. Melody finally able to answer back with Kenzie finding another one as well. Last man alive against 3. Has to pick them off one by one. Peeks the corner, but not quite able to get the drop on Kagalina. I'll get the name right eventually. Sitting 11-0. This player has not died all game. Certainly was not going to let that be the first instance. Economy back in shambles, but rifles and helmets still on the table for Esports Wales. If there's anything are they going to be able to do, it's going to have to be soon. Pyro in a bit of trouble. Kagalina gets a little bit aggressive here. Kuka as well. Still finding more kills. She has been absolutely unstoppable with the Neo-Noir. And with a perfect half, Serbia storm into the lead. 1 round to find. It's all on the pistol round now. For Esports Wales, they got to make something special happen. Their only hope to pull this back through overtime. But sometimes all it takes is 1 win. With a standard buy across the board, other than 2 P250s from Esports Wales. Serbia's going to split the party and look for clues. Mine hears a lot, but it's Wales getting aggressive. They're not waiting for Serbia to come to them. They want to try and take them off guard, but it's going to be Wales completely baffled by Mini. Takes 3 heads in 3 shots. And now the dreams come tumbling down as Schmissler cleans up the last 2 players. And in a clean 13-0 sweep, Esports Serbia takes the game and the series. You gotta say well done to both teams here. Playing in a competition like this is never easy. There's your home. Always we have to appreciate just how hard the players try. Just how hard the players fight. For every single round. And even just showing up is in of itself a great feat. So, congratulations and commiserations We'll see you more tomorrow for more of the women's side of the Ooh. That's what happens when you cast solo, folks. We'll see you tomorrow for more of the women's side of the IESF. For now, though, this is BlazyBard signing off. Reminding you all to stay frosty.